This is Madeline Eck from Special Education 683, and this is my Module 12 summary video. Today I'm going to talk about maintaining cultural humility and awareness and being culturally responsive in ABA. Specifically, I'm going to talk about these task list items from the BCBA 5th edition task list. E9, engage in cultural humility in service delivery and professional relationships. E10, apply culturally responsive and inclusive service and supervision activities. And E11, identify personal biases and how they may interfere with professional activities. Right 2019 says that cultural humility is the ability to maintain an interpersonal stance that is other-oriented or open to the other in relation to aspects of cultural identity that are most important to the person. We can use cultural humility by using descriptive assessments to collect information related to culture, collecting relevant demographic information, and also considering linguistic needs of clients. Others, like Luna et al. 2023, says that the issue is systemic. Ways to address systemic issues with there being a lack of cultural awareness and humility could be addressing racial disparities in behavior analytics services by providing provider and trainee awareness, competency, and systemic action. This can include diversity training, providing opportunities for cultural responsivity, and culturally responsive supervision. So my experience, diversity training can happen on a daily basis with the BCB and RBT, or it can be included in RBT's initial 40-hour training, or it can be a topic that is talked about in quarterly group trainings that happen at a lot of ABA companies. I think a good opportunity to be culturally responsive would be accommodating parents' unique cultural requests if it is possible and not unethical and it's helpful to the client. Culturally responsive supervision could be like letting a client practice their culture as much as possible without interfering too much. So for example, when clients work on eating, sometimes we teach them to use fork and spoon, but some cultures don't use fork and spoon for every food. They may eat with their hands, and I think that should be allowed. I think that's okay. An example of overcoming a personal bias might be a lot of us have the bias that it's okay to, or it's not age appropriate for young children to sleep in their parents' bed at night, that they should have their own bed, but in some cultures that's perfectly acceptable. They all sleep in the same room. So if we were working on something like sleep, we could overcome our own personal bias, think about how the family feels, and be flexible when creating programming. So I talked about how to engage in cultural humility, apply culturally responsive and inclusive service and supervision activities, and to identify and overcome personal biases. This will be important for me to know as a future BCBA so that I can be culturally inclusive and accommodating to everybody. That's it. Have a good night. Bye.